Sir Shagaiva Carjag as a comrade ha, es mich an punk finin jarag arishinu. Hi there. Anyway, it's 1st of February, as we say, Fela Imbolc, Banachdi Imbolc, blessings for the springtime. Imbolc is associated with the goddess Brige, also known as Bridget. She was Christianized as Saint Bridget, but originally was a pagan deity known as Brige. That's spelled B-R-I-G-I-D, if you want to say, or spell it B-R-I, Father D. Talking of which, there she is. Isn't she gorgeous? That's the goddess, multifaceted goddess in pagan times, associated with things like healing, protection, domestic animals, smithing, and poetry, and all sorts of stuff like that. So she's basically the goddess of rebirth. So I thought I'd celebrate that as it's the day, and I'm clinging on to my Irish cultural roots and not letting them get erased by colonialism. So, for the first time in my life, actually, last night, the day before, I put out what they call an Brat Bria. I'm sorry, on Brat Brige, which is the cloak of Brige, or Bridget's cloak, which she's put out to sort of like give her something to pick up when she's outside. It's often a piece of cloth or a piece of old clothing. And I've been learning more about this lately. So, something I'd heard of way in the past, but I thought, my good friend the Engels just came up and said hello yesterday. Shout out to you, Bonnie lad. Great evenings to be had by all, by the way. And I thought at the end of the night, you know what I thought? I says to him, I says, isn't it in keeping with our ancestral tradition, we should start putting out little, bits of cloth as like on Brat Brige. So I decided to do that. Stuck an old flannel out on the door handle. Well, your one didn't come along and take it because, hey, Brige is probably much in demand. And by the way, no, I'm not being serious. I don't actually believe in the goddess of Bridget or Brige. I'm actually an atheist. But I like to celebrate little things even if I don't believe in the spiritual connotations of them. I don't do puritanical Marxism, that's a somewhat toxic and somewhat alienating thing, which is wonder why nobody in Western Europe or most of the bloody world likes communists, because they do. Unfortunately, it is true that a lot of them are absolutely insufferable. Talking of insufferable, the amount of people that hijack Irish Celtic mythology, mainly fucking hippies, some elements of the goth scene, but I try not to be too mean because some of them actually mean well, and I do respect they do respect cultures and don't just steal them. They're interested in pagan revival and all that sort of stuff. Some of them are insufferably middle class, but let's be mean. Let's not be mean to everyone just because somebody takes an interest in cultures and what have you. Now, it's good to see them do that, as long as they don't start sort of butchering the language, like saying Imbolc, like the terrible times in the end of October when they say, blessed be Sam Hain. I don't know who Sam Hain is, but I've had that rant before and I'm not going to repeat myself. Anyway, I will say, Banach di Imbolc, have a great springtime. I hope yous are contented today. It's a Sunday. People are largely hungover if they've been out on the fucking piss the night before. I'm sure St. Patrick wouldn't have approved of that. I don't know about St. Bridget, but I think the goddess of Brige would probably have approved and said, you know what, go and have fun, you bunch of bastards. So, with that, I shall say, Banach di Brige, Banach di Imbolc, Banach di Fela Brige. My Irish is slightly improving, but it's still terrible. Take care all. Slán go fóill, agus go naidí an bóthar goléir. Saoirse go Joe, agus saoirse van Fallastine. Fuck capitalism. I'm Red Fenian Punk.